After many months of anticipation, Power Rangers 28th season was recently revealed. It will be adapting 2019's Kishin-Ryu Sentai, Ryusoulger. While I was initially hyped for that series upon reveal, I grew to dislike it. The lack of a cohesive story turned me off after the third episode. However, I acknowledge that it has a lot of potential for adaptation. After all, the beauty of Power Rangers is that it can modify and expand on aspects of the source material. I'm JulioCoolio, and today, I'll be explaining why Ryusoulger is perfect for Power Rangers 2021.
それそれそれそれその調子
Let's start with the most obvious reason. Dinosaurs are popular. People have always been fascinated by these once mighty lizards. Just think of the various examples in media where they're represented. Jurassic Park, The Land Before Time, Dino Riders, and even Transformers Dinobots. Not to mention the numerous museum exhibitions focusing on them. I went to the Smithsonian last summer. Even a ton of other Power Rangers seasons with different themes have dinosaur zords. Dinosaurs are a guaranteed sell, and it's understandable for Hasbro to want something safe after experimenting with an older Sentai. Speaking of which, Beast Morphers will feature the long-awaited Dino crossover. Not only will this excite people about dinosaur Power Rangers, but it can perfectly set up the next season. Mentioning the crossover in the new season or even an early bird cameo can provide a level of world building akin to the Zordon era or Marvel movies. What's more, Hasbro revealed a ton of new toys based on Mighty Morphin. From a marketing standpoint, this is brilliant! Kids can have both the present and past Dino teams as toys. Parents and kids could also bond over their Rangers having a similar theme. I've previously spoken about my distaste for the overpromotion of MMPR. However, Hasbro thankfully has been balancing that with other seasons. Look at the Lightning Collection, Battle for the Grid, or the social media accounts. Now it's more 70% MMPR, 30% other seasons, rather than the 90-10 we saw during Bandai's final years. Nostalgia is a powerful tool. MMPR callbacks, whether explicit or subliminal, are kind of a necessary evil. All in all, dinosaurs are huge, and Hasbro knows this. Ryusoulger, in this regard, is a thematic gold mine, and presents many opportunities to generate excitement and sales.
それそれそれそれその調子
A lot of us know Ryusoulger borrows many aesthetics from previous Sentai. The most obvious comparison is Dino Charge / Kyoryuger. Both shows have similar ranger colors, morpher types, and certain dinosaurs. On a smaller note, Ryusoulger is heavily reminiscent of Zenaku and Korak, due to being a possessive armor and purple. But you may be surprised to hear that Ryusoulger also shares some visual cues with Beast Morphers. Both teams have at least 5 Rangers. The core Rangers use Brace Morphers, which are powered by key-like devices. The Red Rangers also use various power-up forms, and their Zords have autonomous battle modes which serve as the backbones of their 3-piece Megazords. As both shows progress, the 6 Rangers in both series wear gold and wield gun morphers. Finally, an evil Ranger appears at some point in the show. Though Ryusoulger seems pretty repetitive on the surface, it does bring a few new ideas to the table. Starting with the suits, this is the first time an entire team is night-based. It helps add another layer to the theme instead of just dinosaurs again. The use of bright colors with armor pieces helps these suits stand out. I personally think gold looks the best. If the writers wanted to get creative, they could even tie the powers back to Ivan from Dino Charge, especially since, as I mentioned, both shows share very similar aesthetics. The mecha are also unique through its use of Lego-like connectors. These allow for an infinite amount of combinations, and Hasbro could finally boast a building toy of their own. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Unlike the other options for adaptation, this show does not have an Orange Ranger, but the first Brown Ranger appears, even if momentarily. Being such long-lasting series, Power Rangers and Super Sentai tend to repeat certain tropes. However, they try to present them in a new light and balance them out with new elements. If handled right, Ryusoulger's adaptation can balance familiarity and innovation.
それそれそれそれその調子
Now that we've seen why Ryusoulger appealed to Hasbro, let's discuss why the other Sentai were skipped. While I have evidence to back up my reasoning, keep in mind this is still personal speculation. Starting with ToQger, I love the story and train theme. However, I agree that the suits and Zords look a bit too basic and rigid. It would be jarring to go from the complex Zords and stylish leather suits of Beast Morphers to the simplicity of ToQger. It would feel like a downgrade, and I think ToQger would work better as a sideshow akin to Rescue Bots. I thought JulioCoolio could work pretty well given it shares the animal theme with Beast Morphers. Think of how Beast Machines came after Beast Wars and Transformers. Plus, JulioCoolio's block aesthetic fits with Minecraft's resurgence in popularity. However, having two animal-based series back-to-back could cause some confusion with a general audience, mainly parents skeptical of buying the same toy twice. If my sister can't tell the difference between Mighty Morphin and Dino Charge, imagine what others would think if they saw these two side by side. At least a few years passed between Dino Charge and this new season. Q-Ranger is one of my favorite modern Sentai. I love the use of the space theme and the unique detailing of every suit. Honestly, I wanted this to be the next season. However, it has an enormous cast of 12 Rangers, with the core 9 assembling by the 5th episode. While there's a lot of potential for merchandise, Hasbro needs to slow down the introductions to avoid making the show feel rushed. Though I agree with many that this show could make a perfect 30th anniversary. As I mentioned last time, Lupin Ranger vs Power Rangers versus theme could make use of the abandoned hexagon concept. Even if Hasbro didn't go that route, the idea of two competing teams is pretty fun. However, one major problem I noticed while watching Lupat is the conflicts between both sides. The Power Rangers wanted to arrest the Lupin Rangers because they're thieves, but only because of that. We know the Lupin Rangers are only thieves because they lost their loved ones. On top of that, they only seem to hurt monsters by stealing the Lupin collection. What I'm saying is that the show felt more like chaotic neutral versus chaotic good at times, rather than good versus evil. There needs to be a deeper reason why the two teams are fighting apart from justice. Hasbro could resolve this two ways. One, have both sides work together more often towards the middle of the series, X's debut could lead into this. Or two, make the Lupin Rangers eviler, or have them framed for a more serious crime. While Hasbro passed over these shows, this isn't to say they can't work. I believe every one of these series will be adapted eventually in one way or another, though given how different their choices are, you can see why they decided to go with something somewhat familiar. So what are you most hyped about for this new season? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, share, and click the bell to stay updated on the latest videos. If you want more things Coolio, make sure to follow me on social media. Well, I'm Julio, stay Coolio, and thanks for watching everyone. Also, wash your hands, and as George Lopez says,
Drink that 7 Up y sale el cáncer con el burp, mira.